The GMen Show 25. I can see clearly now.
Yeah, it's the GMen Show. Talking fruit, tech, and ego. Hot takes, cold coffee, still hitting every keynote. They roast your phone. No. They roast each other. Tips, rants, one after another. Is that a feature or just a bug? Either way, it gets a shrug. GMen Show. Turn it up. Let the fanboys know. Questions, rants, or a nerdy confession. Call in now. Join the obsession. 703-828-46777. 703-828-46777. Yeah!
And welcome everyone to the GMen Show. He's Gaz, I'm Guy. That's why it's called the GMen Show. Damn rumours. Unfortunately, we're in the doldrums between Apple News and releases, so actual topics can be hard to find. So, I want to talk about two rumors that, if true, would benefit many people like me with restricted or limited vision. Gaz. There he is. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, if not a little tired, because as we were having a very brief conversation before we started, I was up until about 3 a.m. yesterday. Yep.
Why?
I watched something called Bowley Super or something. I thought it was something like 10-pin bowling, where they do, but no, it's completely different. Apparently,
no, it's the bowler soup.
Yeah, bowler soup. Quite an interesting game, actually. Good defense on both sides, but certainly. Well, and I think the right team win.
Won
in the end.
Oh yeah. And as we were talking about before we got started on the show, the only reason why the score wasn't even more lopsided was because of the Patriots. You said Gonzalez, was that his name?
Gonzalez, yeah.
That just kept knocking balls down that would have gone for like big yardage.
Yeah.
So the Patriots defense, top notch. Seattle's defense, whoa.
Top notcher.
They barely blitzed the entire game.
Well, but they still got a couple. I know. They got six. They got seven sacks, didn't they?
7 sacks,
and they were only 4 men attack. I mean, that was just crazy,
unbelievable,
crazy.
And
anyway,
Seattle was able to take advantage of some of the mistakes that New England made. So definitely, you were right. The right team won. Definitely,
yeah. On the night, of course.
Yeah, it was a masterclass in applied defense. Did you watch the Bad Bunny halftime show?
I didn't, if I'm honest, because I was struggling then. So I watched something else to keep me active. Else, just listening to that music or watching that would have I'd have closed my eyes and they would not have opened again. So I didn't. Although I do know it was Bad Bunny, and apparently an absolute travesty for the American people, according to somebody over there who thinks that he was, the worst thing that they could have picked for the halftime show. But apparently he's broken all records or something. There's all sorts of things which are going down.
And here's the thing. I don't mind that they did a halftime show entirely in Spanish, which, let's face it, the vast majority of Americans don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And of course, like most Super Bowl halftime shows, it gives me a chance to get up, use the bathroom, replenish some snacks. And but I really didn't get what of course I couldn't because I don't speak Spanish. The whole thing, he's going through trees, and most of the people even in the stadium couldn't see what he was doing except on the big screens. I know there was actually a secondary halftime show with I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my. I didn't watch that either. And since we're being so honest here, the last halftime show that I was really excited about was the one that Prince did. I don't remember how long ago that was. Did you ever see that one?
No, I didn't.
You should look it up, because right in the middle of it, as he starts doing Purple Rain, it started raining. So he's there on this, that symbol that he has or had since he's passed away, unfortunately. that was what the stage was. So he's on that stage in like a pouring downpour, just wailing it. And it was like the most incredible halftime show I have ever seen. And, but that
was before Apple really was,
I think it was
highly connected with the halftime show. And that, folks, is why we're talking about it, of course, because there's an Apple related theme here, of course, isn't
there? And it's no, we're not disparaging on Bad Bunny. I'm sure that for people who speak Spanish, it was an amazing show and everybody was delighted.
You can still listen to music that's not in your own language, Guy. It can still be entertaining, Yeah.
If you watch the video, you'll see why Gaz was laughing at that. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. I'm still loving my high old PR35 microphone. Blah 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 blah. And we should probably move on to something else. What do you think? I
think Gaz's snippets is what we should move on to. And I'm quite glad that you mentioned what you mentioned at the start about the lack of news, because, I've struggled with my snippets this week. I've still got a few, so don't worry.
Yeah. But, well, that's before you start this week. But that's why we're talking about the topic that we're going to talk about, and why we kind of talked about the topic that we talked about last week, because there's so little happening right now. There's lots of stuff that's like supposedly coming in. We're going to be so happy.
In fact, will you let me start?
Yes.
I should say.
Gosh.
Talking about the Spanish, Apple's beautiful store in Barcelona will be temporarily closed soon. Looks like they're going to be doing some improvements there.
Yep.
Very nice too. Renovations. I think it's in a very old building.
Yes, due to bad bunnies.
F1, the movie, scores a Grammy for the best country solo performance.
Well, of course it does.
I'm moving on. iTunes might be... Now, I wanted to read up on this, and I haven't had a chance because we are recording a bit earlier than I was expecting.
Yeah,
but the headline, and I might come back to this on the next show, whenever that's going to be, because I'm away next week, but iTunes might be more popular than you think. This is per a report. iTunes is an ancient relic of old music era, right? Not so fast, says a new report highlighting iTunes' resilience despite stiff streaming competition. So, and this is apparently evidenced as by stats from Apple themselves. So I will take a little bit of a look into that, because that might be interesting.
Yeah, certainly.
Or I might put a link. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put that in as Gaz's link.
Okay. Certainly not biased, though.
Whatever it is. And then people can go and see it a bit quicker. But it was an interesting headline, I thought. Apple clears a major manufacturing hurdle in India amid regulatory tension. The Indian government approved a measure on Sunday that allows Apple to directly finance iPhone manufacturing equipment in India without risking additional taxes. Excellent. Apparently, Apple has posted the biggest sales quarter in China in 4 years, because obviously they're not doing very well over there.
That's right. Doomed.
Apple has stopped signing iOS 26.2, blocking downgrades from 26.2.1. Apple gives a final... I wasn't sure whether I'd mentioned this or not last week, but there was quite a lot of overlap in my checking the stories, so I'm going to put it in anyway. Apple gives a final warning to home app users. Now, this was a bit odd because I saw this. It says in 2022, and if you remember, there was a warning to developers, but this is actually to home app users, not the developers. In 2022, Apple introduced a new Apple Home architecture that is more reliable and more efficient, and the deadline to upgrade to avoid issues is fast approaching. In an email this week, Apple gave customers a final reminder to upgrade an email. To upgrade their home app by February the 10th, 2026. Apple says users who do not upgrade may experience issues with accessories and automations or lose access to their smart home in the app entirely. In addition, users who do not upgrade will miss out on newer features like robot vacuum cleaner support, probably ads as well, but we won't go there. And basically, I thought, well, hang on a minute. Oh, panic. I best check that my app is updated. And I thought, how do I know? Well, you have to open the app. You click on the three dots that are in, the upper right-hand corner, navigate to home settings. You click on software update and click update now, and then follow all the prompts. However, if you don't see that, you're okay. Apparently. So here's hoping that works. Anyway, I've warned you all. Just check your home app to make sure there's not an update request in there. Apple's search deal with Google could face a renewed scrutiny as the DOJ appeals the antitrust ruling. This is going to go on and on, so we'll just leave that headline there. Apparently, iOS 26.2.1 has been causing crashes, freezing, and severe battery drain for some. Yes, you've just frozen. Give him a slap. Apple Sports now supports golf. Yeah, I thought that. I don't use that app, to be honest with you. Apparently, Apple's App Store revenue is up 6.3 in the fiscal quarter two to date. 6.3. That's quite a good increase, really, isn't it? You can see why they want to keep as much as they can in that App Store.
Yeah.
The revenue rose to 3.4 billion in the first 35 days of fiscal quarter two, making a 6.3 year-over-year increase. Blimey, that's all I can say. Blimey. Apparently, Civilization 7 is coming to Apple Arcade, or it might already be in Apple Arcade. So just for those who are interested.
And remember, if you're on Apple Arcade, that means you get it for free.
Correct. Eddie Q and Formula One CEO teased the F1 the movie sequel. No.
You're looking forward to that one.
Heaven forbid, please. If it's going to be half as good as the last one, oh my word.
No, I'm sure it'll be
three times better for me to even think about watching it.
It's going to be great.
Apple's iPad dominates global tablet market with 45% market share. Apple's iPad dominates the global tablet market as it continued its recovery in 2025, with shipments rising 9.8% year on year to 160 million units, according to the latest research from Omdia.
Yeah, they have like a lion's share of tablet sales all over the world.
Absolutely. There was another article here which I was going to read, but it says what Apple's subscription model tells us about its future. So I was going to read that and talk a bit more about it, but again, I didn't have time because anyway,
that's fine. We can talk about it next week.
In the future. Yeah. No worries. Apparently, Apple was once carpet bombing Tesla with recruiting calls. Okay. When Apple had ambitions of building an electric car, and during that period, an interview with Elon Musk says that Apple were relentlessly trying to poach his employees. I don't care. Yeah. Apple CEO Tim Cook promises to lobby US government on immigration in an all-hands meeting. He announced that to certainly the staff.
Good luck.
He's also teased plans for Apple's upcoming 50th anniversary. 50.
Yeah.
Guy. 50.
April 1st, 1976.
EU spares Apple Maps and Apple Ads. The European Commission today said it found that Apple Maps and Apple Ads should not be designated as gateways under the EU's Digital Markets Act. That's probably good for Apple and probably bad for us when it comes to Apple Ads. Apple releases watchOS 11.6.2 with an important fix, apparently. I'm not sure whether that's the Australian fix that they had the issue with. It didn't say that. Yes, it could well be, actually. And I mentioned that some time ago, so they've now certainly fixed it and sent it out. Zuckerberg on why Meta should do less safety research.
Because there's the Zuck looking out for all of us all the time.
Apple doesn't study any of this. Apparently, new emails unsealed this week, spotted by The Verge, show Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg suggesting the company should conduct less research into how its platforms harm users, bizarrely citing Apple as a model to follow. Yeah,
I want to discuss all this behavior.
Yeah. Apparently, Apple CEO Tim Cook was asked about his retirement.
What? Shocker.
He said, I spend a lot of time thinking about who's in the room 5 years from now, 10 years from now, said Cook. Good. Let's keep thinking about it.
Think about that. Say. Thanks, Tim.
No, I don't want to say that. Johnny Ive Ferrari interior might be a glimpse of the Apple car that never was. So if you do a search for this, I'm sure you'll find it. But Johnny Ive has done some interior design for Ferrari, I think, and it could have been what the Apple car could have looked like. Ooh.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And Apple says that there are 7 states who are planning to offer iPhone driver's licenses. Arizona, Maryland. Oh, those have been in. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, go a little bit farther down. It'll tell you.
Yeah. No, these are Connecticut, Kentucky, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Utah, Arkansas. Haven't I mentioned this before?
Maybe.
Because
keep going.
I always like saying Arkansas and Virginia.
Woohoo!
Yeah, well,
finally,
you're so pleased.
I am so pleased.
That's the end of not such an interesting week of Gazzy snippets.
Okay, well, let's talk about something that I wish to be true, and we'll see if it ever actually happens. Now, before we start, I gotta say that this is based on what some analysts are saying, that the next version of AirPods Pro will include at least one infrared camera or possibly, a very teeny tiny little regular camera that could transmit video to a Vision Pro and recognize hand gestures for commands. Now, while the thought of someone walking down the street with a Vision Pro on, gesturingly wildly at nothing, fills me with amusement, the actual potential for this for the vision impaired could be monumental. For those with limited vision, both audible and visual cues to objects and peoples around them could literally change their lives. For people like me with just one eye, to transmit an image of what I can't see would be amazing, and I would be the first in line to get one. However, I'm not going to wear Vision Pros walking down the street. I think that's really dumb. Something along the lines of what we talked about on the last show, with regular size glasses with a built-in display, Apple, would do me quite nicely. And yeah, Apple has for a really, really long time kind of been, I don't know if I want to say champion of people with various impairments, but they have certainly pushed the boundaries
envelope
forward. Yeah, they've pushed all this forward, and a lot of other companies have followed suit once they realized, whoa, there might be money in this. Money. So, but for Apple to do something like this, which would help literally millions of people, I think is a great step in the right direction. What do you think, Gaz?
Absolutely. I think we kind of had a bit of a a conversation about this last week, partially.
Yeah.
And I think actually it's quite a big market, but equally some of this stuff that they do for accessibility, which is what they put it under.
Yes.
Which is quite a nice way of doing it, really, accessibility, because you can apply some of those tricks to people
without disabilities,
without accessibility issues. And it makes their lives easier as well. So the more they do for everybody, the better it becomes for everybody, including those who think they don't need accessibility help.
Well, one thing that, even if they don't do a regular glasses, vision, whatever, vision amateur, whatever the hell they might call something like that. If they came out with new earpods that had some kind of proximity alert built into it, I would still be first in line to get those, as long as it wasn't like super loud. And because I don't need a lot. I just need like on either side, a little doot, 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 to let me know that there's something there or someone coming up behind me or something along those lines. Not dissimilar. And, people who have a newer car with the blind side monitoring that cars do these days, where you get a little indication in your mirror. And if you have your turn signals on, you get an audible indication as well if somebody is in that spot. That would be a game changer for someone like me, as long as it wasn't like, and it would have to be adjustable, because otherwise it would just be like super annoying, and I would have to remove it after 15 minutes.
We've certainly got that with a lot of modern cars, whether it be an EV or a non-modern car, where they give you lots of bleeps that something's happening. It beeps you because your hands aren't on the steering wheel, which is kind of probably perhaps you should have. But when you don't indicate and you move into another lane because you've got lane assist on, or a car's coming up behind you, or you're doing going too fast, that sort of stuff, it can be quite frustrating at times when you keep hearing some of those beeps. I actually think sometimes you want to turn those things off because they become white noise.
Well, you can. In most cars, you can. You can turn off both the visual and the audible.
But the problem there, guys, is
you have
on
to
or
find
off,
it.
and sometimes you want a midway, don't you? And I think Apple are I think they can be quite good at giving you some of these accessibility prompts and making it a process which is more user friendly. Yeah,
and hopefully adjustable as well. That would be a huge help. So Apple, if you're going to do that, and please do that if you can. It would just be another feather in the cap, not only for because this would probably go along with the health apps as well, not just for health but for accessibility, and that would be huge. And I would be willing to pay more, even though I have a perfectly good set of AirPods. I have the AirPods Pro 2s, and they're great. I would go ahead and get some of these.
Excellent.
Yep. Are you nodding your head?
No.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tip.
Go.
Now, folks, did you hear? I said no, but he still played it.
What?
So why did you still play Gaz's tip when I told you that I haven't got a tip?
Oh, because I have a tip. Guy's tip.
Guy's tip.
Yeah, but I don't have a
Guy's tip. Do-do-do.
Mostly
Guy's
clean.
Tip. Do-do-do.
Mostly clean. I don't have a theme song for Guy's tips, so we just have to use yours. I am hijacking your theme song for tips.
You are
this week. I am.
You are.
I am, and I am giving a tip of the hat, imaginary hat because I'm not wearing one, to the Mac Geek Gab.
Did you say a tip?
Yes.
Tip the hat.
Tip of the hat.
Tip for the tip.
For the tip to the Mac Geek Gab, which is a great podcast. If you haven't listened, please listen. Great guys. They really know their stuff. But they let me know about this. So here it is. If you're driving, okay, and you have a quick thought that you want to capture, but you don't want to pull over and, get out the phone and open the notes app or open up some kind of recording app so that you can take notes on what it is that you're doing. Call up S Lady, say new note, and she will record your note, whatever it is that you're saying, into notes and transcribe it to whatever language it is that you speak in the notes app. So when you get to wherever it is you're going, you can look and go, oh, yeah. Bean burritos for lunch. That was the thought that I had. Not exactly a great thought if you're driving long distance, but, burritos are delicious. So that's the tip. You can dictate a note into the Notes app right from CarPlay. What do you think about that, Gaz?
I think that's brilliant.
Ooh, he's nodding.
Hit it. That's the end of.
Guys.
Tips. That's the end of.
Guys.
Tips. That's the end of.
Guys.
Nice.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish?
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
Guys. There we go. Okay.
Don't know how that sounded for the listeners, but it was a bit echoey for me. So you might just want to listen on that spot when you come to checking it.
I will have to see if there's, because I'm looking at, because we've been recording in Ecamm, and I have to admit I may have screwed up. I made a slight change. And you are now also recording into the main track. So that might be where you're hearing an echo.
Oh, it could be. So the listeners might not. The listeners might not hear it. That's fine.
But in the audio version of the show, they shouldn't. So what I'll have to do, because Guy was stupid, was get the audio from Hindenburg and lay that down.
Okay, we don't need to tell the listeners what you're going to have to do, Guy.
Sure, I have to tell them. I've already started into the movie or into the video track.
No,
I'm done now. I got it. I'm all done. Okay, you're going to put what you were talking about earlier into links?
I've put it in for pick's sake. It's already there.
Oh, okay, great. And
iTunes, more popular than you think.
Yes, and that will be in the show notes, and there will be a link to that in the show notes. Now, as I was telling Gaz just before we started, I've made a couple of changes, and I'm hoping that this will make this part of the show, what's a good word? More
efficient?
No, not efficient. Where it doesn't sound like we're completely out of our minds. Though, jury is out. Jury's out on that. So if you, the viewer or listener, would like to support the show, you can do so by going to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. Or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. And we don't have any feedback this week unless you got something.
Nope.
I checked just before we started to record. Twitex, empty. BlueSky, empty. Google Voice, empty. However, if you would like to leave some feedback, and remember that for the audio version of the show, I take your bumpers, and I'm using old bumpers because we don't really have any new ones, and put them in the very beginning of the show. So if you send us a bumper, yours will be in the show. And if you'll just please keep it between 5 to 10 seconds, and you can use naughty words if you want, but they will be beeped. And doing this will get you something that's amazing, which is a Woody. And if you don't know what a Woody is, by this time, where have you been? It's a big W, big O, big T, little I, little E, exclamation mark. That's a Woody. And Gaz, if they want to contact us, how would they do that?
Ever so easy. Send an email. using your client of choice to gmenshow at icloud.com. That's gmenshow at icloud.com. GMenshow. You can contact myself as GazMaz, GazMaz,
Cars.
on Mastadon, on BlueSky, on Strava, on there's another one as
Instagram.
well. I think I'm on Threads as well. Yeah, you can also contact both of us, Guy and Gaz.
Ooh, Truth Social. I'm sure you're on that one.
No, thank you. On Twitter as Guy and Gaz, GUYANDGAZ.
Cars.
Now, Guy,
Yeah.
if people wanted to get, I thought this. I've got a rainbow circling of death here, so I think we ought to crack on as quickly as we can because I can't do anything anymore. It's all gone pear-shaped here.
Okay, well, I still hear you, so I think we're still good.
Good. I can't. That's it. It's over to you now, my friend.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can't do like Farrago.
I can. No, I've
that.
got a beach ball balling around all the time.
It's
at the
a
moment,
thing.
So,
all right. Well, as Gaz said, you can reach us via our email, which is gmenshow at icloud.com, gmenshow at icloud.com. And you can get a Woody for that as well. You can contact me on Twitex as either MacParrot, Squawk, or VertShark. Doo-dum. Also, over there on the skies of blue, which of course is BlueSky, as either MacParrot or VertShark. And of course, as Gaz said, Guy and Gaz, GYANDGAZ. Cars. Over there on Twitex and BlueSky. And Gaz, I'm pretty sure we have a Google Voice number. Oh,
yeah, we do. It's 703-828-4677. If you're outside the US, you'll have to use a country code, which is 1, but you may get charged, so be careful. 703-828-4677, Google Voice number, voila.
I am so sorry about that, folks. I'm not even going to go back and edit it out. I screwed up.
703-828-4677.
That's right, Gaz. That's correct. 703-828-4677. That's the number that you can call. As far as other stuff that I've got going on, there's Guy's Daily Drive, which is an archive of all the ones I did going all the way back to 2018. And Tales from the AI verse, which I've just been so slow in getting those out. And that's all on me. Now, here we are. Sad part of the show, Gaz. We got to go. We got to go. Sorry. But for everyone who's listening and or watching, both of you, I would like to say thank you. Thank you all so very, very much for downloading and listening, he said in a kind voice, to the GMen show. We greatly appreciate it. And Gaz, I think this week we were good enough, and that we were smart enough. Ooh. Mm-hmm. And I said that with absolutely almost no hesitation. Yeah. And that, doggone it, Wilf, Wilf. What else? Welf? I guess there's Welf.
Get on with it.
I'm getting on with it. Doggone it. That amazing dog. People like us.
Where would you learn to make a banana split, Guy?
Tell me.
Sunday school.
Oh, exclamation. No, not exclamation mark. Expletive.
End.
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home and go home.